let them come. Yes, more Rise of the Beast, Optimus Prime goodness. We've got this Beast Alliance little guy, which is pretty cool. I like it. But the main event here is the Mainline Voyager Optimus Prime. So we have seen the Studio Series Optimus, and it looks better than this. But that doesn't mean that this is bad by any means. This is actually a very nice Optimus Prime toy that, in my opinion, especially if you're an Optimus Prime nut like I am, is worth your time. I really do love this Optimus. It's still so interesting to me that we're getting like a Mainline and Studio Series, and I still do have that concern of how many characters am I going to be doubling down on. Like, I don't mind double dipping on Optimus. I mean, I'll even get weird Optimus Primes. But, like, I saw the Voyager Rhinox, the Mainline Voyager, at Walmart yesterday, and I looked at it, and I'm like, this is really cool, but we just saw the Studio Series one, and that one looks a lot better, so I'm not in a rush to get that. But, you know, Optimus, I saw it, and I was like, oh, yes, and then I saw Optimus Primal, and I'm like, oh, yes, I've already reviewed Primal. I finally found Optimus himself, which is a very fun figure. I personally really like it. But before we talk about Mr. Let Them Come, let's talk about the little guy. Look at the little guy. Oh, yeah, this is basically similar to the one-step changer kind of price point and size, but he's actually a articulated, you know, manual transformation toy. And for the $10 price point, you have to think, this costs the same as a core class. And let me just grab a core class real quick. So you can see, you know, I think sacrificing, you know, complexity for size is pretty decent, you know? Because you can see he still can move his shoulders, he can move his arms, he can move his legs, he can move his waist. He can't move his head, unfortunately. But still, he's got some articulation. And this guy, sure, he's a lot smaller, but he's fully posable. I mean, this is Shockwave right there. It's pretty cool. You know, I think this is worth the $10. I really do. It's just a fun little Optimus. You know, if kids are in the toy store and they're like, I want Optimus Prime, you know, the parents can just grab this one. And I think it's pretty decent. It just has that charm of like a random movie toy. It just makes me super happy. Like, this is the kind of thing, like, yeah, I bought it at retail price as soon as I saw it because I am a shill. And I'm also just super excited for this movie, which I am going to see actually the 7th, I think. Because it comes out the 8th on Friday, but I think I actually got a showing for the 7th, which is pretty cool. At like 3 in the afternoon, too, so I don't even have to stay up super late. So that's hype. I can't wait for this movie. But yeah, I actually love how the wheels form on the back. Some people may think, oh, look at that kibble, that looks so bad. But if I had this as a kid, if I had this, I would see those as thrusters. So, like, he transforms, you know, he's like, I am Optimus Prime, and he's like, let them come. And he gets the sword out, and he sees those thrusters, he's like, pfft. Like, that's cool, man, look at that. I think kids are going to love this Optimus. I think it's really nice. It's a fun little figure. And like I said, if you're an Optimus Prime nut like I am, I think this is one you should track down. I do think it's not as good as the other, like the Beast Alliance one. Where's that one? I do think the better toy and the better buy is the Beast Alliance one. I actually did go in with a little bit of silver. I think it looks a lot better with just a little touch of silver. Because, I mean, this is, for a little bit more, you get a cool little weapon beast, and you get a lot more articulation, and you just get a more solid toy in general, in my opinion. So I would say to kids, like, spend the extra, like, $5 or so and grab this one instead. But this one is still very fun, very cool. I definitely do like this. All right, let's transform it. It's going to be the worst, hardest transformation of all time ever. Honestly, I'm sure a lot of people are just like, get to the chase. We want to see the Voyager. We don't want to see this kitty trash. And to you, I say, hey, man, it's Transformers. I like all the toys. I don't just get the ones that they tell me to get. I get all of the ones I want to get. Now, granted, that doesn't mean, yes, I'm a shill, and I'll get whatever they make that I think is cool. But still, I mean, look at how fast this transformation is. This is the kind of thing that'll be quick and easy for kids. Because you got to remember, toys are for kids. And you end up with, like, the configuration where it's got, like, the big, kind of reminds me of Beast Hunters Prime. You know, where it's less of a semi-truck and more of, like, a heavy-duty military-style truck. Now, granted, the front isn't really fooling anybody. That's not a grill. That's just your chest, buddy. But still, it's fun. It's fun. I like it. It's a fun little Optimus. Definitely one I think is, if you're an Optimus Prime nut like I am, it's worth your time. Alrighty. let's get to the main event. Mainline Voyager Prime. So, I remembered when this was revealed, when this was starting to come out, when it was leaking, a lot of people were like, it looks kind of cool, but there's a lot of gray plastic where I feel like there should be more color, and it's small. And what do you mean by it's small? Well, let them come. Here it is with the tried and true, one of my favorite Voyager Primes, the Bumblebee movie Optimus, which I wish he had a more movie-accurate head, but other than that is a stunning figure. And you can see, yeah, it's a little small. He's a little smaller. That's unfortunate, in my opinion. But still, I think we've got a really cool toy on our hands with the Voyager. I just think that his main problem is his colors suck. He doesn't have enough color. I mean, up front you see he's got plenty of color, but especially once you start like posing him, like look at his legs. That's just a sea of gray. I feel like all of this should have been cast in blue. But I think actually all that blue there you see is paint. I think the only blue plastic that's really on this guy is for his head. So I'm surprised the legs weren't molded alongside the head to make it blue plastic. Because like the feet are mostly gray and just have a little hit of blue right there. He just needs more blue. Because I mean, looking at this one, sure he's got gray on the inside too, but I feel like all that does stuff. Like that's part of the transformation. He still has little hits of blue here and there. This is a more intricate figure in my opinion. It definitely has more color. I feel like the color of gray is a lot better too. Like it's a gunmetal kind of metallic gray. And this is very flat, very plasticky looking. I think this is a figure that definitely could use a better paint job. But other than that, let me just show you some real quick. Let me show you some. Let me just show you. I think he kind of makes up for it. I think he kind of makes up for it. This is a very good figure. It really is. I'm sure there's plenty of people that are going to skip on this and get the Studio Series 1. And to those, I say, you are totally, you're totally valid. I was about to say you're totally verified, but I'm like, this isn't Twitter. Your opinion's totally valid, and you don't need this. But if you're like me, if you love all the, different Optimus Prime toys throughout the movies and throughout the years, I know I would regret not getting this one. Because it's really nice. Like, the posability is really cool. I mean, he's got an ab crunch. Come on. He's got an ab crunch. And the legs are, like, super nice. I wish the knees bent a little bit more. Maybe, though. Ooh, I wonder. Maybe a little bit more? If you move the gas can out of the way? Here, let's get a direct comparison. Yes! If you move that out of the way, you get more of a knee bend. So keep that in mind for extreme poses. You can move that out of the way. Because it's just like the gas can that goes on the side of the truck. Because I think that's something they borrowed from this one, right? Yeah. Yeah, because that one, it flips out. That's a very cool little thing they did borrow. But, let's check it out. Get those flipped out. Look at this kneel, man. You can't get a lot of figures kneeling like this. I mean, that is cool looking. Look at that. You brought a human here? That's just so cool. Look at it, man. Can he do like the Iron Man? He could if he had better head articulation. Because unfortunately his head is just on a swivel. But for just like a landed ground pound, yeah, that works, man. That works. I actually don't think this... Can this guy kneel? I don't know. Yeah, he can kneel. He can kneel, but it's not nearly as close of a kneel because he doesn't have that ab crunch. Like you can see, that's like a squat. That's just like a salute kneel. There's definitely some difference going on with that. Dude, this is just... And it feels good. This figure feels good. He's got these panels that move out of the way, but he doesn't need any panels for the front of the legs. This ankle articulation, you can use the transformation hinge and get his ankles like all the way forward if you need to. Like you can seriously have this guy doing some Michael Jackson level stuff. And that is pretty commendable. I mean, I don't think he's going to balance. I mean, hell, Michael Jackson had a nail that he hooked his shoe into, and we don't have this going on with a toy, but I mean, yeah, he can do some serious leaning. And, he can do some pretty serious, like, spread leg poses. Because this one, you know, he's a little more limited with his ankle tilt. Like, he can still spread his legs. This is still an amazing figure. But definitely a difference. This one's definitely more posable. That's for sure. One thing I do want to show off, though, the head sculpt on this is really nice. That is definitely Rise of the Beast Optimus. I love the detail in that. Maybe the sculpt is a little soft, but you can tell. That's movie prime right there. That's really nice. I just think he needs more paint. Unfortunately, it's not a Studio Series figure, so I don't think Takara is ever going to do a premium finish of this. But just imagine if there was like some silver gunmetal paints in there, maybe a little bit more red, maybe if those were painted in right there. If he had some like silver and shit on his arms. I don't know why I said a bad word. Oh no. It's so funny, he's got a random hit of black right there on his crotch. Okay. I mean, I don't think his thighs needed much paint, but like if all that tubing and everything was painted in. They do have some black and red on the knees though. That's kind of cool. Wish they had that carried forward onto the shoulders or something. Yeah, I like this toy a lot, okay? I like it. You can see he's got swivel at the head. He has universal joints at the arms, and the shoulder armor can also move independently. The elbows are nice and tight. That moves in pretty tight. He's got wrist swivels, actually more like wrist ball joints, which can help for certain poses. He has an upper waist rotation and a tiny lower waist rotation, but still that can get you a lot of stuff. And of course, I think it's for the transformation, but you can absolutely use this as an ab crunch. So here, let's kind of get him in this, you know, cool jumping pose. You can move the hips pretty far forward, and then you can move them out. You can get the knee bent, and if you move that out of the way, you can get the knee bent even more. The ankles, you saw how crazy those are. Yeah, look at this thing, man. Look at this. That is just... Look, it's so posable. It's so good. In my opinion, like, even if you just want the Studio Series, fine. I still don't think you should sleep on this Optimus. I think this is pretty good. I really do like this. I think it's a really good figure. Now, granted, it does have, like, the Bumblebee movie-style blaster instead of, like, the hand cannon like he does in Rise of the Beasts. But, hey, this was probably based off of concept art. Funny enough, just like this was. Because this one, as cool as it is and as close to the movie as it is, that is not the right head design. He doesn't have any of that little techie detail in the mouth plate. Now, granted, it's still a very nice-looking head, and he still has tons of details in the movie. Like, even the can-looking thing in the back and the little circles, which I think are compatible with, like, normal ports. Yeah, they, like, integrated those as ports, even though it's an actual movie detail. Like, this thing's super mega detailed. It just has the wrong head. But this, you know, it's super mega detailed, looks really great, just is horribly colored. I think if they made the gray plastic a more gunmetal color, he would look so much better and people would be far more interested in it. So let's transform it. Let's see what he's got going on in the transformation department. So interestingly, you almost think that the chest is going to pull out more, but no, it just, you know, pushes in more. You flip the head in, flip that panel in, and we're going to take this, rotate that all the way around. Kind of has a bit of a traditional sort of, you know, grill on the back kind of deal. That'll move. I actually think that'll move like that. And then, I think that's how that goes. We'll figure it out. You know, we always figure it out. Move those cans out. The feet are kind of lazy. It's kind of typical, oh, the feet go on top of the shins, and then that's just the back of the truck. But, hey, it's fine. That's how so many Optimus Primes do it. That's even how the masterpiece, MP10, did it. Come on. We're not going to be that nitpicky on engineering of a children's toy. I like how that tabs into the hips. I think it's really nice how the wheels tab in. Pretty much the last thing, getting the arms configured, you do need to rotate the wrist in. And we need to make sure that the bicep, you'd expect the bicep to go flush. You can see it's going to end up at a bit of an angle, right? And that's on a double hinge that just goes that way. And we'll configure that. And second verse, just like the first, you know, as the legendary YouTube reviewers have said. Get that in right there. One thing I don't like is how those panels kind of stick out. But, pretty much got it. Just got to flip these panels. Tab those in. And, ladies and ladymen. I got that from a WWE YouTube poop. Ladies and ladymen. I think it was, who was it saying that? Who was it? I don't remember. Alrighty, there we go. There he is in his truck mode. I think that's pretty snazzy. It does have some robot bits that are just kind of dangling. Like he's got those shoulder things that are dangling where with this figure they're on dedicated hinges to get out of the way. He does have those panels on the side, which this figure doesn't have those panels at all. So, because that's accurate for the robot, but not for the truck. So, personally, I probably could have lived without those panels, but yeah, it's no big deal. He does have the hitch in the back. You can put the gun if you want. You could probably put him with a trailer, maybe the Earthrise one. You don't really have anywhere to store this except for back there, but you can store it straight, so it's more compact. This is just a success in my book. This is a very nicely done figure. All of the wheels are pinned as well, so he rolls. He actually rolls, unlike certain Transformers where you kind of just like scoot him along. No, he rolls. He actually has rolling to him. It's very well done. I love how he's just been chilling there the whole time. I'm not going to transform him. Yeah, I really like this Optimus. I think I prefer this more than the Primal. The Primal's a very nice figure. I do hope we get a Studio Series Primal. I'm sure we will. But I think this is a perfectly serviceable Voyager Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. Now, granted, yes, I've seen the pictures. I'm very excited for the Studio Series. It's definitely one I want to get. But I think they're giving us some pretty cool stuff in the Mainline. I mean, look at these. And I love how different they are, too. Like, look at how different those alt modes are. This is not at all how he looks in the movie. This is a very solid toy, and I hope it becomes more widely available. It's surprising how this Mainline Voyager and Deluxe stuff is just not available to order online. You just have to find it in stores. I'm hoping they put it online. I mean, the movie's coming out in weeks. Like, we have weeks until the movie comes out. It's very close. Where's the Mainline? You know, why is it not available online yet? I need to get Scourge, man. I've been putting off getting Studio Series Scourge. It's just one of those leader classes that doesn't feel worth $55. I know I'll love it. I know the toy's going to be good, but it's just not big enough. It doesn't come with enough. Well, we'll see, though. We'll see if I feel like it's worth it or not once I get it. I probably will say it's not, but I'll still pay it anyway because I'm a shill. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Mainline, Optimus Prime, and a little Beast Alliance one. Said and done and out of the way. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this Optimus. I hope I kind of convinced you that it's one that's kind of worth your time. I think it's really good. I think it's a really good figure. I think it's one of the best Voyager Primes we have seen in a while. It's really good. Alrighty, guys. Thanks so much again. Special shout out to channel members as always. Thank you so much for the continued support. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Let them come.